Welcome to Perception versus Reality, Sports and Culture. Please enjoy this PvR interview, like our Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, welcome to PvR, Sports and Culture. We're doing an interview session today. We have a former UAPB athlete, football player, and Memphis Tigers football player, Jermaine Anderson, on the line with us. How you doing today, Jermaine?
I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. So Jermaine and I, we know each other going all the way back to like Pee Wee football. Jermaine was like a year, I think a year and a half younger than I was, and I can remember my dad coaching Jermaine. And Jermaine, I think in like 4 games you had like 10 touchdowns, and my dad started calling you Little Emmett. And my dad almost cried when you had to move halfway through the season and they end up losing the rest of the games and didn't make the Super Bowl. So Jermaine and I go way back, went to attended college together, same department, industrial technology, played football together. I think Jermaine came in a year after I transferred to UCA, but he played football at UAPB. And so Jermaine, Kappas, both of us, same fraternity. I pledged at UAPB, he pledged at Memphis, but it's still a brotherhood. We still treated him like a brother. We loved him like a brother, and he did everything we did. All the crazy shit we did, he did. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into this, Jermaine. Just give us a little bit of your background.
Man, like you said, man, born in Pine Bluff, man, Wolves playing football on the north side for the Rams. You know, back then it was a whole different culture than it is now. You know, I used to play for your dad before I had to move to Kentucky, man. That's something I dreaded for a long time, man. I did not want to be up there. Man, I called every day to come back. Even David Moore was calling trying to get me back down here, man. From here, I moved to Kentucky, which is a culture shock. You know, being from Pine Bluff, you know, majority black. You know, you have a few white, but it just something you didn't see when we was in school. In our neighborhood, you did not see that. And, you know, and I spent, you know, majority of the time on the north side. My other grandma, she stayed on the east side, so I spent, you know, 2 or 3 days out the week on that side of town. So, you know, I didn't really see too many white people. So when I moved to Kentucky, it was reversed. It's majority white people, Mexicans, Chinese. Now the blacks are the minorities in where I was at. So it was a learning experience because I was able to adapt and deal with other cultures.
Gotcha.
Something that I don't think I would have probably dealt with it being in Pine Bluff, but not as soon as I did in Kentucky. So when I first got up there, you know, I was getting into it with people because, you know, I wasn't used to certain things, but, you know, I have a lot of friends from other cultures. So when to play football, high school in Kentucky, which is a mixed school, which I actually learned a lot at that program that I was at. You know, I was around some good people. My coach actually gave my first pair of screw-in cleats, you know, growing up, while we knew it was molded.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, so he gave me my first pair of screw-in cleats. I was exposed to a lot of the recruitment area, turf football fields, you know, and I graduated in 2003. We had a turf football field back in 2002.
Wow.
Which was unheard of in Arkansas.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the fields that we have now, that we just get now in Arkansas, I had that back in 2002.
Yeah.
And being
the only way you played on turf in Arkansas is if you made it to the state championship at War Memorial when they had turf.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when I was coming back visiting here, and I'm telling people, hey, we got turf fields, they're like, yeah, right. I got to take pictures and tell them, like, yeah, this is what we're playing on. This is what we're practicing on.
Yeah.
You know, this is the norm.
So when you came out of high school, Jermaine, when you were in high school, how did you do up there in high school? Were you all state, all conference? You know, did you play running back, defensive back? What?
When I was at Kentucky, man, actually I played corner, safety, kick return, punt return, receiver, running back. Man, I did it. I didn't come off the field.
Okay.
And it wasn't just the fact that, you know, I was better than everybody else. It wasn't like that. So we had a bunch of athletes. Matter of fact, coming out of my high school, it was 10 people out of my high school.
Yeah.
that was going to play college ball out of my senior class.
What was your record your senior year?
My senior year, oh man, it was so long ago. I think we lost 2 games my senior year. We was all city champs. We was all conference champs, and we lost a game before state.
Okay.
But the guy we lost to was a guy named Brian Braun when he
I
played
remember
University of
him.
Louisville,
Yeah, I remember.
and it's a guy named Michael Bush.
I remember Michael
Michael
Bush,
Bush
running back.
played
Yeah,
for,
hell of a running back.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's from Louisville, so he played for Male. Well, these schools were all boys schools. We played Trinity. Trinity had 109 players.
yeah.
So they beat us the game before state, but that was a good learning experience playing against them. But yeah, I think my high school career did pretty good, man. I got a few offers to go to college, and that's pretty much. I think a lot of my recruitment came from being just in that era.
Okay.
I dealt with recruitment issues like everybody else,
Yeah.
but I think a lot of my recruits just the fact that our program and the stuff we was exposed to.
Exactly. So with you being recruited, and what type of recruit were you? Were you receiving visits, or were you recruited late? Like, I didn't receive any visits coming out of high school because I wasn't that type of recruit, and schools didn't really start looking at me until we played against Gosnell in the state semi quarterfinals game, and teams were coming to interview to look at Chris Evans, Eddie Ringo, Jeff Parker, guys like that. And during that game, we were down 14-0, and I ended up scoring, I think, 3 or 4 touchdowns, and we ended up winning the game. And the coach started getting letters from me after that. But I never took any official visits. I wasn't ranked as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star. It was one of those deals where no one really knew about me until that game recruiting someone else. So in your case, were you someone that was looked at from your junior year going to your senior year, or was it almost similar to my situation?
Now, my recruiting process, I actually started receiving letters my junior year.
Okay.
And the thing is, which my parents bought into the system, they understood what it took to, get my stuff out there. They got film, sent them off to schools. Back then, it wasn't no huddle. It wasn't all this internet stuff. No, it was you took your film, you took it from the game, put it on tape, and you had to mail it to the coaches.
Yep, that's what I did.
So,
yep.
My parents was mailing stuff to the coaches.
Yep.
And one of the things that kind of helped us out, which is something I still don't see in this area. When I was in high school, we had a thing to where we did 7-on-7.
Yes.
We did 7-on-7 heavily, where, during the summer, you're in 7-on-7 practice. We're going to tournaments. You're going to University of Louisville, it's over 100 teams. University of Kentucky, over 100 teams. University of Cincinnati, over 100 teams. And we're going to these 7-on-7 tournaments and winning these 7-on-7 tournaments. So at these 7-on-7 tournaments, there are scouts there.
Yes.
So that's one way, we had colleges talking to us. There's a couple players that played before me, man, and I really had a lot of guidance. And, the talent skill that they had brought in recruits also that came to look at them. That's a couple guys. I know you wouldn't know them, but, I'm going to shout them out like Derek Talbot, Leon Mack, David Burdett, Corey Dunn, Chip Franklin, my guy, Aaron Mason. It was a slew of guys that was before me, man, and they set the bar for the high school I was at. Oh, Dougie Allen, I can't forget him. And these guys, the way they played the game, man, I learned like a true passing system. They didn't just, you got the upper class when they see the lower class, when they like, man, these guys coming up, I'm not going to show them nothing.
Yes.
These guys took us in the ninth graders and was showing us, the purpose of running this route versus that route, reading the defenses, knowing the coverages, the purpose of why we're running, this type of offense.
Exactly.
And between those guys, man, and then I had, like I said, my coach, Coach Meehan, that looked out for me, him, Cisco Brown, my DB coach, Coach O'Farrell, offensive coach. They really, really helped us out a lot. Now, with that recruiting era, I ran into the typical problem a lot of people ran into. My junior year, Coach Mann decided to retire.
Yes.
And we tried to get Coach Bryant, was a black coach, and they say, they had a requirement to be a coach, all the things that say you got to have. So I don't know what all happened behind it. But when being a coach that he really wasn't favorable towards us.
Yes.
And, we had, the college's first thing to do is call you coach and ask about you.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of guys, I come to find out. I ended up finding out from my homeboy. He was like, hey, man, are you? So, man, so we had a black coach, man, that everybody thought was going to get the head coaching job. And, they said he didn't have his paperwork or credentials or whatnot. I don't know the stipulation of what happened then. So we never getting a coach that really wasn't for us. So at that time, we had a lot of kids getting recruited. And the chemistry we had as a team was way different. For example, before camp start, the whole team pretty much went to a college camp as a team.
Yes.
And spent a couple of days there as a team.
Okay.
We went to Indiana. And when we get back, we have a camp at the school. Well, camp at school is kind of like college. You spend a night in the gym for a week. You're doing pretty much 2-day practices. You're doing workouts. You're going outside. You may have 2 outside practices. The Air Force Academy. I got letters from other people. Kentucky. Kentucky got in trouble and we used to have our 7-on-7 practice at University of Kentucky. So I narrowed down to Central Florida and Air Force Academy. Well, a lot of letters from, my senior year from my teammates, a lot of people weren't getting their letters. So me and one of my partners doing Money Mayberry, we was student aides at the time. It was our senior year. We don't have class. So we in the coach's office, chilling, and he finds a box full of letters.
Yeah.
From football letters from numerous programs from the past 2 years. And this is our senior year. We got that coach our junior year. So I'm looking at letters that guys never received. And to top that off, I ended up getting, my homeboy came and was like, man, aren't you getting recruited by Central Florida? I'm like, yeah. He said, man, he was on the phone with the coach in the classroom, and he was talking down on me. I'm like, serious? He was like, yeah. So, I never said nothing to him. I was taught as a kid, I respect adults. So, I let my father know and let him know the situation. So, ran across my tape, cool. Well, a couple weeks later, that coach got fired. So now back to ground zero. So the new coach ended up running across my tape, and he contacted me and was like, man, I ran across that, would you come visit, X, Y, and Z. So, I went there to visit in Memphis, like everything that I seen down there. Plus, it was close to Arkansas, still 6 hours from Lexington. So I ended up signing with Memphis, which was a good thing. I learned a lot while I was there. But, I dealt with that typical recruiting problems that, your athletes deal with now. So I know the ups and downs of that whole thing, man. Definitely do, man.
Yes.
But, since I went to Memphis, I did 2 years at Memphis, I experienced, being in a, what people say, predominantly white institution. And Memphis kind of like, I really didn't get that experience like that because it was like a mixed campus.
Yeah.
I seen just as many whites. I seen black.
Mm-hmm.
They took care of us. I ain't football. It was a business. I didn't have to be in, meetings all day. I didn't have to worry about running financial aid all day. They handled all that stuff for us.
Yeah.
So, I learned a lot from my teammates, the program there. And it's kind of like, I think I would have stayed there if I wasn't patient. But, when you're a starter in high school and you're looking to be on the field all the time instead of trusting the process,
yeah,
you're going to find yourself being impatient. That's what I did. And I was like, man, I redshirted my freshman year. And the next year, which was, regular freshman year, I was like, hey, boy, I'm not ready. I'm ready to get on the field. The coach like, hey, just be patient. I'm like, man, I'm trying to get on this field. And then I listened to everybody, hey, man, go to UAPB, man. Your cousin, that's, J-Mo, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Jonathan signed UAPB.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, man, come play with your cousin. And at the time, Forte was there. Forte was, come down here. I was like, all right. Listen to everybody. I said, you know what? I'm going to go to UAPB. Man, come to the Black. Let's get the experience. And cool. So, Coach, hey, I talked to him. Like, hey, Riley's like my chance of playing next season. He said, man, next year be your sophomore year. You're looking at special teams right now. You got a couple seniors and juniors ahead of you on the bus. So I'm just going to transfer.
Yeah.
And, I respect that coach because he's real. I talk to him to this day. He was like, man, look, anything you need, if I got some connections from other colleges, you want to go there. I was like, well, I got a college. At that time, I didn't look at it like he really was trying to help me. And I didn't understand the whole process of, you got position coaches, but we all know the head coach run the show. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I'm not going to a school. Yeah, what school you going to? I didn't want to tell him. I'm like, man, it's a school in Arkansas, man. He's like, all right. And he's originally from Arkansas.
Yeah.
So when he found out, he was like, why didn't you just tell me? And I was honest with him, telling him I thought she had my best interest at heart.
Yeah. So pretty much you transferred back to UAPB because you felt you was ready to play as a redshirt freshman. You had been there. You had been at the school for 2 years. You redshirted your first year. You were in the workout program. You ran scout team. So the next year, you're like, hey, I'm ready to play. And you weren't getting the clock. And you felt as if coming to UAPB, you would have to set out. You could play immediately. And you can get on the field and show your skill set. I definitely don't have a problem with that because I feel like a lot of athletes should make that decision sooner rather than later. You'll see a lot of guys who will wait till like their junior, senior year and try to run back to the SWAC or run back to the MEAC or any other D1 AA school, UCA, and you got 1 year to play. So you got to come in and learn the program. By your redshirt sophomore year if you are in the future plans of the school. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen, but if you're going to come back like you did, you came back, you got 3 years to play, and you still could get out there and you still could show what you can do. You can build that rapport with the team. So I agree with that. That's similar to what I did. I was at UAPB, redshirted 1 year. The next year we hired a new coach, and the new coach didn't know anybody. And we were in spring practice, and I was doing pretty good. And the new coach, when he put out the depth chart, I was like maybe 2 or 3 on the depth chart. And that was due to him just watching us skillfully. Well, Mo Forte and I didn't have a good relationship. Coach Ragsdale, I had a good relationship with him, but he was just the running back receiver coach. So, so I end up getting upset, getting frustrated, not wanting to sit down. I'm at these games at home, and people from my hometown asking me when I'm gonna play. They're looking at some of the talent that's on the field. It's not that great, and I'm not on the field. So that means I'm really not that great if I'm not on the field. So I transferred to UCA, and when I arrived at UCA, everything was kosher. I performed well. I trained well. We had Jasper Johnson there. He helped me come along for the few weeks I was there. But when I spoke to the guidance counselor there, they informed me that they didn't have an industrial technology program. They had civil engineering and electrical engineering and some other engineering, but they didn't have industrial technology. And so I think I had 70 some hours at the time, and I would have dropped down to maybe like 46. And I didn't see the NFL in my future to do something like that, to give up, let's say, $8,000 worth of hours. So I made the decision. I made the decision to get in my car, pack my car up. I talked to the head coach, who was Coach Kunk at the time, and I talked to the offensive coordinator. They understood why I was making the decision I was making. I never played football again. Never put on another uniform. Never played again. Went back to school. Finished up school in 2 years, and never touched the football field again. And on the way back home, I was so hurt. Like I could feel it in my gut. I wasn't going to play football again. And after playing football since I was 7 years old, and now at 21 is over. 2021 is over. It was a tough pill to swallow. Yeah. So I kind of feel where you're coming from there. So when you made it, now tell me what happened when you arrived at UAPB. Tell me what your first year and how many years you played, and just give me the rundown real quick.
Man, UAPB. When I got to UAPB, man, of course, no one met Dr. Colin, and Dr. Colin, he knew what school my dad. He knew me since I was a kid, and I really don't remember that far back. But Doc brought me in, said, hey, get your major in industrial technology. And I was at Memphis, I was in electronic engineering. So I'm like, he got, what's the engineering program at? He was like, we don't got one. The closest one, industrial tech. I'm like, well, industrial tech. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what's that? So he's showing me everything. So, by then, I really don't know about the hours and, transfer. I'm thinking I'm about to bring all my hours from Memphis. So he was like, man, you got to do this transcript, submit your stuff, and they're going to go and see what hours transfer. So when I was at Memphis, one thing about my mom kept me in summer school. I went to summer school every session to make sure I graduated on time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to Memphis. I was almost at 70 hours coming in. So when I, go through the mix, I do a little transcript, eval, if he was doing transfer, they tell me I got 19 hours. 19 hours. I talked to Doc. I said, Doc, look, they said I only got 19 hours. I appreciate the opportunity, but I'm about to head back to Memphis. I'm not coming after no 19 hours. I'm just going to have to stick it out in Memphis. So, Doc, Doc's a good dude, man. Doc looked out for me. He's like, man, I'm going to go over here. So I come back. Doc was like, look, you don't got all your hours, but you got 56. I can work with that. I can work with 56. I understand some stuff I ain't going to transfer. So, Doc helped me out. So then it comes to dealing with the school, and it's something that I wasn't used to. Dealing with the school. Man, I can remember like yesterday, I went to financial aid 22 times. 22 times.
Wow.
Just to get help. And it was go, pull a tag, wait. Now, this in between practice. We got camp.
Yeah.
At camp is you can't be late. So
exactly.
I leave camp. I got to go over here, wait at financial aid, trying to get my paperwork together before the next practice. If you're not in college, you got to come back again. And that's something new to me because when I was at Memphis, we had a coach. Hey, who got financial aid problem? Raise your hand. You write your name down. He wouldn't handle it. Between practice, we was wrestling. So I'm like, okay. So now I'm kind of getting discouraged. Like I'm at this black college and they telling me it's this, this, and this. And it's like, man, it's not what it's cracked up to be. I'm over here. I can't get my financial aid together. So I do go through camp, go through all that and stuff, and the whole shave your head ritual and the whole thing. It kind of threw me off because I was coming from Memphis. We sponsored about Nike.
Yeah.
You go in there, you got 3-4 pair of shoes to pick out, shoulder pads, put your helmet on, choose your face mask. I want to put on back. Boy, back then it was a hazard.
Yes.
We in a dungeon. There's people sharing little bitty lockers. Big wood lockers. Goddamn, I can sleep in the locker.
Because your first year, you had the freshman lockers or the newcomer lockers that were in the back, where you said they wood lockers. And the year you arrived, we had just received like the sit-in lockers for the guys, the players that had been there for 2 or 3 years. So I think I was on the front end. I was on the front end that year where I was on the side of returning players. So I had the sit-in locker. But yeah, I can remember my first year sharing a locker with Chris Wallace. Chris Wallace and I shared a locker. And it was like worse than my high school locker. And we had the same. Yeah. It's a Division I AA college, but I'm not trying to trash UAPB. To anybody listening to this, we're just telling the truth. They've come a long ways now. They have a nice facility and everything. But back then, this is the truth of the matter.
Yeah, and that, man, I was in there like, man, this can't be like, man, we out here in the dungeon, our practice field, like practicing on concrete. Man, snakes on the field, man. I'm telling my mom, like, Mom, I don't know about this. I do camp and stuff, and it's like the week of the game. Coach said, I got to listen to eligible players. I'm not expecting to hear my name. They call that name.
That's right. I remember that now. Because you were there the last year I played at UAPB. You were actually arrived the last year I played. And then some reason you were gone because you was on the defensive side of the ball. And so this is why. I never knew why. So go ahead and tell me why.
So they tell me, I'm like, I'm ineligible. What do you mean I'm ineligible? It was like, well, when you didn't get your transfer paperwork. I said, what you mean you get my transfer paperwork? I did that last semester. So that's back then, we used to have a bunch of office problems. So I'm like, okay, well, go talk to Miss So-and-so and go over here. I go to the office. We don't got your paperwork. I'm like, why y'all wait till almost the first game to even be dealing with my paperwork? This should have been done. I've been talking to y'all since last semester. So they're like, well, Memphis never sent it. So one week I went all the way to the football office in Memphis. Went up there, and I went because I got a ring when I was in Memphis. I was able to get 2 rings going to a bowl game.
Yeah.
I went and picked up my ring, like, hey man, this is my old coach and everybody. And he was like, man, you gonna come back or something? I'm like, nah. That kind of really wanted to say, yeah, because I'm like, man, I've been dealing with straight DS since I've been at UAPB.
Yeah.
So I asked him about my transfer. I said, man, I ain't got my paperwork. He said, we been sent that off. He said, well, you told us, we waited a week, so you're going to change them out. We sent it off. I said, okay, so I had to contact NCAA and all this and that stuff. And next thing you know, I see so that's my phone. Then next thing you know, I done sat out a whole season. Each week I'm asking coach. What's the offensive coach name?
What was his name? The dark skinned bomb guy, I remember. Tall guy.
Yep. So I'm asking him every week. I'm in his office. Hey coach, am I clear this week? No, not yet. I'm still working on it. Next week, hey coach, I'm clear. Like, I'm sitting in this dorm room watching everybody go to the games, man. This ain't it.
So they couldn't get you cleared through the clearinghouse in time
to
talk to the athletic director?
I didn't get cleared until a week. The week before the last game is when I got cleared.
Okay.
So by then, I'm like, the season over with. We was 3-9. I'm not playing this game. Just see you in the spring.
Yep. Because my first year we were 7-3. And we were 1 game from the SWAC championship, but we were beat by the guy that ended up playing with Minnesota, Tavares Jackson, the quarterback. He
was cool.
Yeah, he beat us 14-7 or 17-7 at Alabama State. Then the next year we had a terrible year. You're right. We had a terrible year the next year. Because that was the year we played Bethune-Cookman. We lost to them. We beat Mississippi Valley at home the first game, and then we lost to another D1 school. It wasn't Marshall. It was somebody else that we lost to. But, I remember that year. Yeah, we had a bad year.
Yep. And it was, so, I jumped back on the spring. Back on the spring, had a good spring. Next season come up, season, that was the season we went to the SWAC championship.
Yeah.
My last year, because I was about to graduate, so, that last year, I said, well, I'm going to play this last year. Well, you remember Miss Webb. You was in Industrial Tech, so
I remember Miss Webb, yeah. Yes.
So, for my senior year, Miss Webb gave all her class I.
Oh, wow.
So, me, Hint, Fisher, man, it was a lot of guys. She gave us, we had it for 2 classes. She gave us I. Well, I was like an F.
Pretty much.
Oh shit, guess what? We ain't eligible. We ain't eligible, man. We begged Ms. Webb to change her grade. Can you just give us a grade? She was in her little masters and everybody did Ms. Webb, so you know how that went.
Yeah, exactly.
She didn't change everybody's grade to the fall. So by the end, I'm like, man, you know what? I'm just gonna graduate, man. I ain't worried about football no more. I done got down here. My experience, but like to this day, bro, I appreciate, the friends and stuff that I met at UAPB and stuff like that, bro. But my experience, like people talking about, man, you gotta your alma mater, this and this. Like, yeah, I appreciate the experience of dealing, but the business side of it, and that's why I feel like we're losing a lot of kids with the business side.
And that's one thing that that historical black colleges has to improve. We have to improve that. You got to be more. You have to be more professional. You have to be more organized. And although I support HBCUs 100%, but like you said, your experience is a bad experience. And what if you're training kids and you're talking to kids, and if a kid come up to you and say, "Hey, Jermaine, where should I go?" You're gonna want that kid to go to a historical black college to support the black community and
right.
Black administrators, but at the same time you're going to reflect back on your experience and say, you know what, go to Kentucky, go to Arkansas, go to A-State, go to Texas, so that's one of the things we have to do as far as HBCUs moving forward is make sure majority of your students have a good experience. Make sure you organize. So I definitely agree with that.
Thank you for listening to the PvR Sports Podcast. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch new episodes and PvR clips. Like our Facebook page and share with your friends if you enjoyed this podcast. As we say in the South, catch you later.